I still don't hear anything. Oh, man, that took a long time. All right. All right. So what we're waiting for is the judge uh, to appear at this hearing. This is the guy, Tyler Robinson, who assassinated Charlie Kirk. So he's in the spotlight for sure. And while we wait, of course, we can do certain things like catch up on the latest. So let's look around. Welcome to the channel, viewer. Uh, you know what I find every time I start to live stream, and I look into that ring of light that is part of the camera, I realize how dirty my glasses are, and they need to be cleaned. So a cleaning we will go. What do we need? What we we certainly need a lot of patience. Yeah. Oh, we're happening. There he is. Why don't I hear anything? We hear nothing. Look at the guy in the back there. A big fucking, he's like a soldier. Like a combat soldier. Anyway, I still haven't cleaned my glasses, have I? Anyway, how can this guy possibly have a defense anyway? I mean, shit. We all know he did it. Why would he even plead not guilty when he absolutely did it? That's what I can't understand about the system. Why can't people just, you do something, you get caught, you did it? Yes, sir, I did it. Be a man. Stand up. Take accountability right from the beginning. Yep, I did it. I killed him. I shot him. Because the consequences are going to be this, probably the same. No worse. You'll probably, get, I don't know. You think you get some sense of integrity back if you, I'm not sure that this is. What's going on here? I can't hear a damn thing. Hang on a sec. No, I just think that I think that it's just muted. Not mute. Yeah, the sound is just muted from the court. So we'll just wait. Why am I using that? Why don't I just use that? So that Tyler Robinson in the matching tie and shirt. To his right is his large lawyer. To his left is his tiny lawyer. And to the tiny lawyer's left is a lawyer. On the other table, on the other side, are two prosecuting attorneys. In the background is a combat soldier, some kind of a special operations guy keeping guard. I don't see that he has any kind of weapon with him that's visible, but who knows? Hopefully, this starts to move a little bit. This is a tacky hat for live streaming, isn't it? I can go to my classy one. Alabama, baby. Alabama. There we go. Oh, that's not quite right. How many people are watching this feed? 3, 11, and the other one. And the other one is also doing the same thing. Yeah, everybody's complaining about volume. Well, not complaining about it, but just saying there's just no volume. I understand this is not the most entertaining content for my regular viewers, but if you're into true crime, like I am, then you'll appreciate. True crime. I'm going to add that to the description. True crime. Charlie Kirk. Good enough. Boy, it's taking a long time to get to the point of audio. We should... I don't even think Shanny's live. I mean, really. I think last time I was watching Shanny, she was complaining that she didn't have any medication and she was going to run, and she couldn't get She didn't have money for an Uber, and she couldn't get to the pharmacy. And then somehow somebody quickly sent her a donation, and she said, "Oh, donation!" And then she went offline and said, and went to the pharmacy to pick up her meds. And it looks like she's back. Let's see.
Hospital stays suck sometimes, man. But I did it. God, you people are sick in the fucking head.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I got my medicine.
I'm going to switch to the court as soon as they start.
I just have to wait for dinner.
As soon as we get audio.
And I'll take my metformin.
Oh, boy. She's so complicated, this woman.
If you give me $50, I'll say it.
And say what?
Cash app me 50 and then I'll say it. I'll act it out too, so it sounds so good. I know, praise God. Like,
if you,
I started cold sweating.
If you say, the challenge was, if you say you are not afraid of drunken, or if you say you are afraid of drunken peasants, I'll cash app you $50. That was the challenge.
Hi, Lucas. God, Rizla, fuck off and get the fucking hint, asshole. Yes.
What's Rizla? Rizla, I think she kicked him, didn't she? I guess. Don't see any Rizla. Oh, the amount of trolling she's getting in the chat is incredible.
God, they have to repeat themselves over and over and over. Don't you guys get sick of repeating the same thing? It's so pathological. Like, holy fuck. Chill the fuck out.
Well, that shows that you're pathological, Shanny. Oh, judge is coming in.
We're going back on the record in case 251-403-576, State of Utah versus Tyler James Robinson. I note the presence of counsel that previously entered their appearances. We have come out of the closed session and concluded that business. However, the court became aware of an event that happened before. And my understanding was during the open portion of this hearing earlier that there was a violation of the standing decorum order as it relates to transmission of these proceedings. I want to hear from counsel, and then I will make a ruling concerning that shortly thereafter. Ms. Visser.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm referring specifically to Rule of Judicial Administration 4-401.01. This gives the court discretion to terminate or suspend electronic media coverage at any time without prior notice, if the judge makes particular findings and that this is specific circumstances warrant it. It is our position, the defense position, that there has been a violation of the decorum order. It is our understanding that those live streaming this signed and declared that they would follow the decorum order, and they violated it. So we are requesting a sanction. We believe these court's orders are binding and they need to be respected. We also believe that it threatens my client's right to a fair trial. It's the whole reason we filed a motion in the first place to remove his shackles. It's our understanding that his shackles are visible. It is also our understanding that potentially some audio from counsel table was heard. We are definitely taking more measures on our own to ensure that that does not happen again. But there has also been some filming of computers and materials at counsel's desk. That's entirely inappropriate. And I think everybody in this room will agree that's entirely inappropriate. So we are asking for some remedial measures here. We're asking for it to terminate for today, and we can proceed after that.
Thank you, Ms. Visser. To the state.
Your Honor, the state, as stated earlier, we believe that the court's order was very clear. And if there's been a violation of that order, then we agree that there needs to be some measure taken. We'll leave it to the court to decide the appropriate response to that violation. But we agree that any violation of the court's order needs to be addressed.
Thank you, Mr. Ballard. To the press, attorneys for the press.
Your Honor, Jeff Hunt for the media interveners. This is the first time that we've heard about the violation. We've not had an opportunity to look at the video or investigate the audio or look at the capture of the computers, but filming of the inadvertent filming of the shackles. I did talk to the pool photographer. My understanding is that there was a zoom out shot that did inadvertently show the shackles. That was improper. That was inadvertent. And we apologize for that. They've taken measures to make sure that the pool video that is disseminated to the rest of the pool does not contain any capture of the defendant in the shackles. We can't do anything about the live stream, of course, but we can control what the rest of the video is that we capture and disseminate. So that is being done. The audio for counsel, my understanding is the only audio that they picked up was from counsel's microphones. I don't have any further information about that and whether that's a violation. Filming of the computers is not a violation of the decorum order. If the capture can show the document that counsel is looking at, then that is a potential violation. So I just don't know how much detail the shot is that is of concern to the court. But I'll just say that we reiterated as soon as I heard this from Mr. Ballard with the pool representatives that this is very important to follow to the letter the court's EMC order. They understand their obligations. They take that very seriously. They're not perfect. Mistakes happen. We're trying to correct as much as we can on that. But we think termination is not an appropriate remedy. An admonishment from this court, a reminder that they need to follow to the letter the court's EMC order is appropriate. That's the message that counsel has delivered to the media representatives and the pool operatives. And we think that is the appropriate remedy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to make it clear, we're still receiving messages that shackles can be seen on the live stream as we restarted. So it's still a problem.
Thank you. I appreciate all parties weighing in on this important matter. And I find that there was a violation of the standing decorum order that was in effect as of October 30th, 2025, based off what's been proffered, as well as the EMC order signed by the court. As previously stated by Ms. Visser, the court does have discretion in determining whether to terminate the broadcast of these proceedings. And again, if there's specific circumstances warrant such action, that the court would need to make findings in order to do so. I find that excluding the cameras from the courtroom would be disproportionate for this hearing. I find that making it very clear, first, that the transmission cannot begin until court is in session and must end as the court ends the session, and cannot be filmed before or after. The filming of, as previously stated in the decorum order in EMC, must be followed to the letter. The sanction for today is that this camera will be relocated away from defense table to where the bailiff is, where Jeff is standing over here. I want to immediately address any possible transmission of shackles, as previously stated by counsel, and remove the possibility of capture of screens of the computers at defense counsel's table as well. In addition, if there's further violations of the standing decorum order, this court does have the right and will exercise termination of broadcast of these proceedings. And I simply want to put all parties on notice, to the press, to all parties, that this court takes this very seriously. While the court believes in openness and transparency, it needs to be balanced with the constitutional rights of all parties in this case. As such, we will take a brief recess to allow the relocation of the camera and to the place indicated by the bailiff, and then we will resume these court proceedings. I am anticipating this take perhaps 5 minutes. All right, and then we'll come back on the record and handle the remaining of this hearing. I appreciate the patience of parties as we move forward. We are trying to do the best.
All right, they've gone silent, so we wait for them to come back. But you know what? We've always got entertainment. Always, 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 always. And here it is. That's not quite true anymore. Oops. This is, there we go. That's the correct ticker. But it's not producing any entertainment magic, that's for sure.
A soft toothbrush and coconut oil. Huh. I'm going to try that.
You know,
Oh, that's the pipes. I was like, do I hear a dripping sound? No, it's the pipes. No, it's just the pipes. Because it's getting cold right now, so.
I'm gonna.
House fucking old as shit.
Oops.
Mild 10 minutes. No. I'm very grateful to be in this house. I am. Hmm? His mom was born in this house, yes. Very little we have here. Good job getting out of the house. It will get easier. Oh my God, it's so fucking... What personality disorders do you think I have? Yeah, all Alberts get blocked here. All Alberts get blocked here. Alfreds, Alberts, Als, assholes. I don't give a shit about them. Anyway. BPD? Yeah, but she said personality disorders, so I'm wondering what the other ones are. I'll admit to the BPD. That's my bread and butter. But you said personality disorders. I only have one. Not histrionic. Ron. Ron, Stella.
But in responses, but I'll hear brief argument and then we can go from there. Mr. Ballard.
Thank you, Your Honor. With respect to this motion, I think as we've expressed in the past, everyone in this room shares the same goal, and that is to ensure that there's a fair trial that happens in this case. And we recognize that the court's pretrial publicity order is intended to further that goal. And again, as I've stated before, the state plans to try this case once. The state is also committed to complying with its ethical duties with respect to pretrial publicity. We have complied with those duties. We will continue to comply with those duties. The issue we bring before the court here is that there's one portion of the pretrial publicity order that can be interpreted to reach beyond those ethical requirements and have the effect of being what would be an unlawful order, an unlawful prior restraint on speech. And our goal, therefore, is to get an order that's clear, that's lawful, and that the state has the ability to comply with. And the issue with the order that the state has is the use of the term witnesses in the order. We believe that term's vague and ambiguous. Does it mean anyone with relevant information about this case? Does it just mean those people that are going to be subpoenaed to testify in this case? Or is it limited to just the prosecution team? And I think, as we've expressed in our filings, we believe that the court intended that that term just be limited to the prosecution team, because that is the way that Rule 3.8 reads. Rule 3.8 of the Rules of Professional Conduct that deals specifically with requirements for prosecutors talks about investigators, law enforcement personnel, employees, or other persons assisting or associated with the prosecutor. So in other words, the prosecution team. And there's no rule or case law or statute that expands the prosecution's duties beyond that group, the prosecution team. So with respect to clarity, we're seeking clarity as to what exactly does the court mean by witnesses. And we think the court just means the prosecution team, because if that term stretches beyond just the prosecution team, then the order as written, we don't believe is a valid and lawful order, because it would result in a prior restraint on certain speech, and at the very least would have a chilling effect on that speech. If the prosecution agrees that we have an ethical duty to take reasonable measures to make sure that those who are identified with the prosecution team are alerted to the requirements of the court's order, and to make sure that they do not make a statement that the prosecutors themselves would not be able to make, a public statement. But if the order extends beyond that, then we have concerns, because a prior restraint is an order that forbids certain communications in advance of the time that they are to occur. And as the Court of Appeals has recognized, the Utah Court of Appeals has recognized in State versus LM. And widespread publicity in a case does not itself justify a prior restraint. As the United States Supreme Court has recognized in Nebraska Press Association, there's no justification for a prior restraint.
This is moving along pretty damn slowly. So I'm going to switch back to something a lot more exciting. And you know who that is.
And my memory problems and my gait, I just need to know.
You just need to know what? That you're dying?
Well, when I said I'm undiagnosed with MS, what does that mean to you?
That means you're faking it.
I'll let you think.
You're faking it. Undiagnosed. I'm an undiagnosed genius. What does that mean?
That's what I want to find out, Sam. I have the osteoarthritis. Yeah, it's like my memory issues, and then sometimes I get like spots in my eyes. Like my aunt Kitty had MS, and she passed at 55.
No, this is...
How am I diagnosing myself when I said it's undiagnosed?
It's stupid. Now she's being really dumb. No, I can't handle that. I'd rather go back to the court.
the court can impose a restraint on their speech only to the extent that the court first finds that any speech by those non-attorney trial participants poses a serious and imminent threat of material prejudice to the ongoing proceeding. And I think the court also needs to note that there are several people associated with this case who have very significant interests in exercising their First Amendment rights, in talking about how this case has affected them. And of course, can't say that one person's First Amendment right is more important than another person's, but there are certainly some people here who have a larger, some people involved who have a larger or a greater interest in speaking than others. And so I think the court needs to take that into consideration if this order is meant to apply beyond just the prosecution team. And then finally, as far as making the order, so we need a clear order, we need a lawful order, and then we need an order that the state can actually comply with. And the state recognizes that there are serious sanctions that this court can impose for violations of a court order, as we've just seen. And so we want to avoid these. We want to avoid litigation over whether there's been a violation of the order. And as it stands right now, we don't believe that there will be any issues if the court limits the term witnesses to just the prosecution team. We can comply with that order. It gets more difficult for the state if the term witnesses then applies even broader at this stage of the litigation, for the state to be able to comply with that order, depending on how the court clarifies what witnesses mean. Does the court have any questions for the state?
No, thank you,
Okay, thank
Mr.
you.
Ballard. Mr. Novak.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to try to be brief because our views on the propriety of the court's order were set forth in a publicly filed document, which, of course, the court has reviewed. And the first thing that I want to say is that the order that the court issued is not a prior restraint on any member of the public. And it's certainly not, I think, as the state's motion suggested, some sort of a prior restraint on the press. This has nothing to do with the press. The order, as we noted in our papers, is directed at the conduct of and the court's expectations for counsel. So even if under that order that the court issued, somebody who we could all agree is a witness within the court's definition of that, made public statements which implicated Mr. Robinson's fair trial rights, the potential sanction is on the party who had a duty to make a reasonable effort to notify witnesses that they should not be doing so. If I represented a witness who was accused of saying too much publicly, the first thing that I would tell this court is the order isn't directed at the witness. The order is directed at the counsel for the parties. There may in the future be some theoretical situation where the court issues orders that control the statements or conduct of specific people, but this, or other than counsel, but this order is directed at counsel. And we have no, meaning Mr. Robinson's defense counsel, have no problem complying with the order. And we also think that we understand what a witness is when the court uses that term. So it is our view that the court's order is not overbroad, it's not vague, doesn't put the state or the state's attorneys in some untenable position. And I think it's a little bit it's a little too simple to say witnesses are either everybody under the sun or people who are under subpoena at the last second, because counsel have not only the training, but a duty to figure out along the way who the potential witnesses are and to notify those people. And yes, down the road, maybe there's going to be an issue, and maybe an attorney on either side of litigation is going to have to explain to the court when a particular person did or did not become a potential witness in the eyes of that party. That doesn't make it impossible for the state to comply with the order. It just means that the state needs to be thinking along the way about who its witnesses may be. And that's why in our papers, we refer to it as a potential lay witness, because we believe that the court intended it to go beyond members of the prosecution team, which are law enforcement officers, retained experts, retained consultants. And we don't believe that that creates an enforcement problem. We don't think it creates a compliance problem. We noted in our papers, and I'll emphasize here again, that the court's order actually places responsibilities on defense counsel that the rules don't. The rules have special guidelines for the prosecution, and the court has expanded that to include the defense, and we don't have a problem with that. I also think that the standard that the state is suggesting for when a potential lay witness, as we've defined that in our papers, may make public statements that violate the court's order. The best standard is actually the one that we believe the court should look to, which is the standard set by the 10th Circuit, because as the state points out, it may be that there isn't any Utah law on this issue. So it seems to me that the closest source of authority on this constitutional question is going to be the 10th Circuit, and that's the case United States versus Tijerina, and I'll spell it. It's Tijerina, 412 Fed 2nd 661, 10th Circuit 1969, where the court says that the constitutional balance between the First Amendment rights of a non-attorney participant and the defendant's right to a fair trial are properly balanced where extrajudicial statements present a reasonable likelihood of prejudicing a fair trial. That is a more protective standard than that which appears in Rule 3.6. And we think it's the appropriate standard which should be applied here. That's part of, as we've told the court before, a motion that we will bring, because we actually think that while the court's order is wholly appropriate, it's not vague, it's not overbroad, it's not a prior restraint, it doesn't create a lack of clarity for the state. We would like it to be a little bit broader in other areas, especially concerning the standard to be applied and the definition of what is the prosecution team, but that's not germane to here. So we think that while we understand the state's concern, we think that their motion should be denied. I think at the last hearing, the court actually clarified verbally from the bench what it meant by a witness, and I think that's pretty close to what we described in our papers as a potential lay witness. So I feel like if I say anything more, I'm going to be reiterating again what's already in our papers. If I've muddled it, I'm sure the court will tell me and I'll clarify it. I hope I haven't.
Thank you, Mr. Novak.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and we'll turn to the last matter. Anything further, counsel?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I do want to point out that the court's order as it's written does impose limitations on speech. And the issue here is whose speech? Is it just the prosecution team members, or does it extend beyond that? And limitations on speech are a prior restraint. The court's order says that, if you look at page 2 of the order, it specifically talks about lawyers, that lawyers cannot make a statement that would violate Rule 3.6 and need to inform witnesses that they cannot make similar statements, and then requires the parties to inform lawyers, excuse me, I'll just read it. Lawyers participating in the investigation or litigation of this case shall inform all witnesses, and then the list that I read, about the prohibitions contained in this order. So the order is prohibiting speech. And because if it extends beyond the prosecution team, it needs to have the findings that are required for that kind of prohibition on speech. That's what we're asking the court to do.
Thank you, Mr. Ballard.
Thank you.
All right. Let's turn to the final matter before this court, the motion for limited intervention and request for notice of motions to close, seal, or reclassify. And I'll hear from the parties on that.
Thank you, Your Honor. David Ryman, representing the news media. Mr. Judd and I represent different groups of clients, so I'm going to invite him, if I miss anything, to weigh in after I'm done. But my intent, the issues are basically the same, so my intent is to address them for all of the interveners at once, and I'll be very brief. We have only ever sought, in this case, limited party status. That is what we do in every high-profile case that involves these type of closure issues. We are not seeking to be parties for all purposes. We are just seeking to be parties for the purpose of showing up and being heard, which we unquestionably have a right to do. We unquestionably have standing. That is settled law in Utah. And the last filing at least, that we got from Mr. Robinson's team that just came in, I don't know if it was a couple days ago, basically gets there at the end where it says, look, if you're going to grant them intervener status, it should just be limited. That's all we've ever sought. And so the question that was raised in the only case that they cite, this FL case from the Utah Supreme Court, that addressed whether we wanted to allow full party status under Rule 24 of the civil procedure rules in a criminal case, they said we don't need to do that. The woman in that case just needed limited party status. And so in a way, we're not really, the state really hasn't disagreed with this either, but we're not really disagreeing with Mr. Robinson's team. We have explained in our papers that we've cited the court to extensive authority, saying that this is the procedure to use. It's the most efficient procedure to use. Otherwise, I don't know what exactly the suggestion is for Mr. Robinson's team that we're supposed to do from here on out. But it kind of sounds like just this sort of ad hoc, show up anytime you happen to see something on the public docket that might affect the public's rights, and that's just not the orderly way that this typically happens. The other thing, as I've mentioned in our papers, that it does is it allows for the media to be able to take an appeal of a closure issue without having to rely on the court's extraordinary writ jurisdiction. And that was what they had to do in either Kearns Tribune or Bullock, where the media was not granted party status. And it is the situation that happened in FL, where they had to review her claim regarding records under extraordinary writ jurisdiction rather than invoking their appellate jurisdiction because she was improperly denied limited party status. So all of that authority supports the process that we are requesting in this case. We think it's the most orderly way to do it. And I'll end just by saying, there's been some discussion, and especially from Mr. Robinson's attorneys, about what rule it is that you need to do this under, whether Rule 24 applies. They seem to suggest that it doesn't. I will just point the court to two different rules that give you the authority to do what we're requesting, aside from Rule 24. Rule 24 is in the civil procedure rules, but Rule 81, and particularly subsection F of that rule, says that the rules of civil procedure govern in criminal proceedings where they don't conflict with a rule of criminal procedure. That's the case with Rule 24. That's why courts in criminal cases have relied on that rule. The other one is Rule 31, and that's in the criminal procedure rules. And that gives this court the discretion, if it's not inconsistent with the rules, to fashion remedies and to deal with civil procedure, or not civil procedure, but rather just procedural matters. And so that is essentially what happened in the FL case, which is that, whether you do it under Rule 24, whether you do it as a judicially created, remedy, it doesn't matter. It's the same, it gets to the same place, which is just that we are interveners for the very limited purposes that we've set forth in our order. We're not going to be here at every hearing arguing, we didn't take a position on the gag order motion that you just heard. We are only planning to appear and argue so that the court has the benefit of someone who's representing the interests against closure. Because as you know, and this is sort of why we're here today, a lot of time this just happens by stipulation, because these, the state and Mr. Robinson's lawyers, they may not want to fight over a particular issue. And so it really is a situation where no one really represents that interest. And the purpose of this whole process is to give the court the benefit of the briefing that we've submitted and the benefit of arguments to represent the public's right to attend these proceedings. So unless the court has any questions, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To the state, Mr. Beller.
Your Honor, as the state briefed in briefing on a prior motion, I think it's clear that parties have outside entities have the ability to intervene in a case as a limited purpose party when there's a statute, a rule, or case law that authorizes them to take specific action in a proceeding. And there's well-established case law that allows the media to intervene, to be able to appear and be heard on matters of public access to court proceedings and to court documents. And Rule 4-202.04 of the Rules of Judicial Administration also make it clear that the media can appear and do just exactly what they've done in the closed session that we held earlier. So it doesn't make them a capital P party to the case. It makes them a limited purpose party, and they certainly have the right to be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beller. Ms. Visser.
Thank you, Your Honor. So I just want to clarify the issue really, if we boil it down, is if these 23 media entities have met their burden to be a limited purpose party in this case. And I think another part of that is what that means. And really that is what we are primarily concerned with. What does that mean? What does that enable them to do? What jurisdiction is this court exercising over them as a result of them being a limited purpose party? Because I do believe that is another aspect of asking to intervene in a case. I do think that Rule 24 does not apply here. I think that's what we learned from the Supreme Court. They don't want individuals using Rule 24 of the Rules of Civil Procedure because it's too expansive. It's about broad entry into a case for many purposes. In the instances where our courts have allowed intervention into civil cases, and I want to be very clear here, the case law is in the civil arena. There are very few instances where we're dealing with this in a criminal case on appeal. So we're a little bit in the dark. And we're asking this court to kind of wade through and make a decision that potentially hasn't been made before. But I would ask the court to be very clear, no matter what it does, on what the media can and can't do in this case. And it sounds to me like the media has somewhat conceded that their role in this case is under Rule 4-202.04. And their role is to have a voice regarding closure, which has already happened today and will surely happen again. We have no objection to that. And to be clear, we're not objecting to the court's order about notice. We will provide notice. We will follow the court's order. We have no problem with it. But we do want this court to make the procedure very crystal clear. We want timeframes. We want orders saying this is when you need to respond, so that we don't end up with filings like we did this week, very shortly before the hearing, that we have to rush to respond to. We're all attorneys. We all know that these things happen from time to time. And we're not unreasonable folks. If they reach out to us, we will grant reasonable requests for extension, just so everyone is aware. But there was no communication. So I want it very, very clear what they can and can't do. It's less about semantics. This isn't about semantics. It's about substance. What are they allowed to do? If this court wants to call them a limited purpose party, that has to be, well, it's so you can exercise your rights under 4-202.04. And in doing so, this is what you need to do. That's what we're asking the court to do. And I also have some practical concerns that maybe need to be addressed with the court's clerk. For example, are we adding all 23 media entities to the court docket? Will they have access to all of the filings? I have had instances in the past where, unfortunately, parties have been added to a case and still receive documents that are intended to be private or non-public. I'm very concerned about that. So I think it would be appropriate, if they are going to be added to the docket, that it be reasonable, perhaps just the two entities that are requesting, the two conglomerate entities that are requesting, and that there be an order from the court saying if they receive something that they shouldn't have, they notify us in the court immediately and they delete it, they don't review it. At a minimum, I think that's necessary. But I also think it would be reasonable for this court just not to put them on the docket for that very same reason. So we don't think that they should have permanent status in this case. We don't dispute that they are going to be here. They're already here, as we well know. But we do think how that happens is important, and that this court should exercise its authority to make very clear what everyone's roles are here. And as I believe they put in their briefing, that they are neutral observers. Neutral observers. We don't want the chaos that is out in the media in this courtroom. So whatever this court can do to prevent that is what we're asking. Does the court have any questions for me?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just very briefly, I'm not sure what neutral observer is supposed to mean. We have interests in the case. We are here to advocate for openness and against closure. And so I don't think that's what counsel meant to imply, but that's the whole reason we're here, is that no one else represents our interests. That is straight down the middle of what the intervention rule requires. Just a couple clarifications. Counsel said we haven't cited any criminal cases where this has been allowed. That's not true. We cited the court to 8 different cases, all criminal cases in the state of Utah, where this is the procedure that judges routinely follow, including judges in this building. Counsel said that our role is strictly limited to advocating for what is under Rule 4202.04. I don't think she meant this, but as the court probably knows, that just deals with court records. We're also entitled under governing constitutional case law to advocate against the closure of proceedings. And that rule does not technically apply to proceedings, it just applies to records. So just to be clear, but I think we have been clear, and this is all, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of daylight between what counsel was just suggesting our role should be and what we've asked for, which is just if they file a motion that seeks to prevent, that wants to classify something as non-public, like they did last night with the motion to disqualify. They were able to at least provide that to us. It's not very hard to send an email. That's all that we've asked for in terms of the notice. And then we have the right to be heard on those issues. And so I didn't really hear from counsel any reason why we should not be granted limited party status in this case, other than just some sort of, confusion on their part as to what that would actually look like. I don't know how the clerk deals with parties on the docket. I assume you guys can sort that out. Typically, when we intervene on behalf of the news media in cases, they are listed because they are limited purpose parties. But the court can, if it doesn't want to hear from us on a particular issue, it can certainly say that. I mean, we don't have any interest in weighing in on aspects of the case that don't have anything to do with the public's right to know. And so I didn't really hear an argument against what it is that we are asking to do. Just one last point on, well, two things. One is that counsel's chastising us for filing something late. I mean, this was a stipulated motion that got us here today. We weren't asked to weigh in on it. It was submitted to Your Honor with an order, which they just assumed you would sign because it was stipulated. It was only because this court said, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to actually hear from the parties that we weighed in. So this was not your typical deadline where we were invited to weigh in and just didn't. Last thing is, in terms of docket access, Mr. Hunt and Mr. Jett and I are all officers of the court. If the court says you can have access to things that the parties are seeking to classify as non-public, but you can't share them with your clients until further notice from the court, that's fine. Some judges do handle it that way. Sometimes we just, if they don't concern closure, sometimes we don't weigh in at all. But when they file things that they say we need to file this under seal and we're not allowed to see it, then the briefing for you is not super helpful. And so typically the way this happens is we are allowed attorney's eyes only access to, documents just like the state and the defendants would be. Their counsel can see things that are non-public, and we don't share them with our clients unless the court orders otherwise. And typically, if the court decides, no, this really doesn't need to be filed under seal, then we can provide it to our clients at that time. But this idea that our clients are somehow going to get access to things that are non-public, that's just not the way this typically works. If they're not public on the docket, if they're public on the docket, anyone can get them. And if they're not public on the docket, then our clients can't get them. And if there's a procedure where we can see them so that we can give the court the benefit of briefing substantively as to what it is, then we keep them attorney's eyes only until the court orders otherwise. And that's just typically the way this works. So thank you.
Anything further?
Your Honor, I'm not going to belabor what's already in the briefing. I do think it's concerning to just cite to a bunch of trial court cases without providing any pleadings or context for what occurred in those cases. I can't argue against what happened in other cases. This is our case. Our case is different. This court has already acknowledged it. There are many interests. We have concerns about leaks, information getting out that shouldn't be out. I think those are valid. And our concern is access. I'm not impugning the integrity of these gentlemen. I'm sure they would act as officers of the court. But the more this court controls the information that ultimately it determines to be private, the more able we are to identify if there are leaks, if there's information that's getting out that shouldn't be, and who did it. So we are objecting to providing the media our pleadings in advance, even just to their counsel. We don't think that's appropriate. I don't see any authority for that. We're asking the court not to consider that. And we're concerned about opening the door to multiple other entities just filing in on this case, getting involved in the proceedings. We don't know exactly what media means either. So our position is and remains, they can file what this court has authorized to file in the manner this court authorizes to file it and be heard in the manner this court indicates. We understand they're entitled to closure hearings, and I did make a mistake. We agree that they have standing to object to closure as well. So They should be able to file those things, but we do not agree that that requires status in our case. So, does the court have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I appreciate the argument from all parties throughout this day. I wish to commend the preparation and the quality of the arguments, as well as the civility that is sometimes overlooked, but I wish to recognize that and appreciate counsel's demeanor and their arguments today. I previously stated when we began that I would be issuing rulings on the first issue. And when I began, I initially said October 14th. It's actually the October 24th audio recording of the closed hearing, as well as the October 24th transcript of that hearing. And so I wanted to just make that small correction. But given the in-depth and necessary arguments made in the closed hearing, I wish to take the time to issue a ruling that will say what will be disclosed and what will be kept private, because this court has a duty to do so. And I would rather do it right and take more time than to be rash and miss the mark. I need to be narrow in my approach, and it is an important issue. And so I plan to do that. In regards to the motion for limited intervention and request for notice of motions to close, seal, reclassify, I also wish to craft my order in such a way that is concise and addresses all the issues, the important issues brought up by all parties. And so I will be issuing that ruling at the same time. And so I will be issuing the ruling in regards to the state's motion to clarify court's pretrial and trial publicity order, and I am prepared to do so. Before I do that, what I want to do is, and counsel is being caught off guard because they were anticipating a ruling today, but what the court is intending to do is, and proposing to the parties, is issuing an oral ruling on WebEx that all parties can attend to. The reason why is I don't want to take a lot of time. These are important issues. I don't want to wait until January 16th. And I want to talk about potential dates. I don't imagine it will take longer than 20 minutes for this court to issue ruling. And I want to get the parties' input in regards to their thoughts of the court issuing an oral ruling on WebEx. And so I'll open it up to the parties.
We don't have any objection to that, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We have no objection to that, Your Honor.
Yeah, same.
All right. Well, next comes the trickier part when you have a room full of attorneys trying to find a date that we're all available. To our staff, what dates do we have available for a 30-minute block before the end of the year?
Judge, we do have December 29th at 10 o'clock.
How does that appear? How does that date work for council?
That was 10 a.m. on the 29th.
Yes.
Your Honor, that works for Mr. Robinson. Thank you.
Same for us.
All right. And to defense, in regards to Mr. Robinson, what is your position on, if it is on WebEx, he would be appearing by WebEx, or is there different thoughts?
Your Honor, if we could just have audio only for Mr. Robinson to appear, since we will not be present, I would rather not have him in the courtroom without counsel present.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we will set the court's ruling on those two issues for December 29th at 10 a.m. And a note that it will be audio only for Mr. Robinson per defense's request. And to the last issue is, well, before I issue my ruling, I anticipate, and counsel, are we still on the same page in regards to our January 16th hearing? Are we planning for that?
Your Honor, we are. We believe that most likely what we would anticipate.
All right. So it looks like this is moving forward quite nicely. I guess I should lay out on my little plan here. I love following true crime. I followed a couple of really high profile cases. The Murdaugh case in South Carolina, I believe it was. The Daybell case. Daybell and what was his name? Laurie Vallow and Chad Daybell in Idaho and Arizona. All these, I follow those. I love those trials. So, and I sometimes follow and watch true crime. I watch just, there are some judges who live stream their court, and sometimes I watch those, and I'm happy to share. So, what are they doing?
Date.
Okay.
I think they still.
And so I just wanted to let all parties know before we lock in our schedules, what dates do we have available for a 4-hour setting?
We don't need to watch this, do we?
My problem.
All right, I think they're just discussing dates. Let's go back to.
And
But
Council, I
Shanny.
appreciate you giving me that roadmap.
What has she got going? She's always live. Here we go. Oh, I better change the banners and nonsense, eh? Those.
I found it, Gavin. We must, boy, help you with the foods. You agree? You want food? You want the foods?
Boring
Come here,
shit,
big
man.
piece.
Boring.
Into the food. Wow.
I'm gonna go look for something else.
Yeah. These are good food. These are good food.
Wood.
Good food.
You know who I like? I like this guy. George.
Gavin likes his.
Hi, Andrea. We're still watching. We just watched this, the true crime stuff, which I'm into, and now we're just taking a break and watching what Shanny's got to offer, which is nothing. But another guy, I was just going to introduce him, was this guy here. I really like his. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter, but he's a Christian, but and he doesn't hide the fact, but he doesn't preach or anything. He just says, I'm a Christian, and yeah, that's American or something like that. So his name is George AA. And I got to shut Shanny up. So his name is George AA. And this is him.
Be collaborating with the candidate, but the Supreme Court looks
Oh.
poised to you sent that at the beginning of the show. How did you know it was going to be a good show so far? Literally, the show, I pressed go live, didn't even speak, and you sent that, which means you're thinking, whenever I'm quiet, that's when it's great. It's like, he's not talking for once. That's what that means. But anyways, I've noticed a lot of you guys, whenever I shut up, you're like, wow, this video is great. When I'm not even talking in the video, when I'm just sharing the clip, they're like, oh, this is the best this is the best one ever. You know, I'm starting to think my opinions aren't valid around here, you know? literally, I start a video and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm cooking in this one. I'm speaking. And you know what the watch retention is? Like 2 minutes. 10-minute video, people watch 2 minutes because they're like, we don't want to hear you talk too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a problem there's an agenda against me being created by I don't know, I think it's the women. The women on the channel, they're building like an army against me because sometimes I'm a misogynist, sometimes I'm all with the backing the women. I'm a feminist. I come in with my pink hat, like I'm supporting the women. But whenever I say anything, you guys start cooking me. You start creating these leagues of influence. You're lobbying the man on the channel to watch less. Great video, George. Haven't even spoke. I haven't even spoken. George, this is your best work. Yeah, I talked for 30 seconds in that one. The rest was just me milking Fox News clips. That's the channel we have, everybody. That's the channel we have. And then half the comments aren't even about the substance. It's, George, you mispronounced that word. That word. And it's like, hey, thank you for appreciating the insight. Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. You didn't even look at what I said. You just said I mispronounced a word. That's what you gathered from it. I'm over here like trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. Someone's like, George, how could you do that? You mispronounced my mom's name. I don't even know your mom. George, my son would never say that name the way you said it. Look at that. Carol just sent a super chat and said nothing. This is crazy. Carol's like, you know what? I don't even want to fuel your anger. I'm just gonna send this and say nothing. Just gonna send it. You're like a stripper to me, George. Here are some ones. Twerk. That's what you guys want, huh? No, we're not gonna twerk on the channel, Carol. We're not gonna twerk. We're not gonna twerk on the channel, okay? We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna be dancing, okay? Because then the black liberals are really gonna be justified saying, he's a coon, he's tap dancing. That's what they say. That's what the black liberals say. So we're not gonna be twerking on the channel anytime soon. Nick Moseder just, oh gosh, he actually just sent me 99 cents. I'm not even worth the dollar to Nick. Nick thinks I'm cheap. I'm easy. That's what he thinks. Carol and Nick have joined forces to send me money with no words. Basically, they're saying, without saying it, that I should shut up. Take the money and shut up. That's what they're saying. Anyways, I love grifting. I love it, you know. Don't you dare give up, says Linda. No, Linda, we can't give up, okay? The women on the channel, like Carol, have banded together to create a lobbying group to shut me up, but I won't give up. I won't give up, okay? We are going to stand together. You know, I'm starting to sound like a politician. We're going to stand together. When we're together, nothing can tear us apart. I hate when politicians talk like that. Can we grow up from that? When we're together, nothing can tear us apart. Well, that's kind of the definition of together. Like, we're united we stand, but divided we fall. Okay, well, if we're standing united, then that would only mean we'd fall divided, right? It's like, yeah, man, hey, we like the phrase, but we don't want you to say it, you know? It just sounds weird from you. Because you're the one dividing us. You're the ones dividing us. Nick Moseder just sent $2 saying, we'll be more if you twerk some for us. Nick, what are you doing, Nick? What is Nicky Mo doing? Nick, don't you have like your 50th video on Zoran Mamdani you need to do? Don't you need to go talk about by the way, Nick's video on the Democrat?
Yeah. What do we have here? He's a political commentator. Above, more than anything. I like what he has to say. He's just rambling right now, but he does, and he's live. It's the first time I've watched him live. He usually puts up short videos, which are pretty damn good. And he ad-libs in them as well, but he's got time to edit and stuff. Here he doesn't. You don't like the music? Okay. I was waiting for somebody to say something. Hang on, let me fix it. Let me fix that. There you go. Gone. Okay, I found something. This is going to be, if you like Von Helton, then this is your channel. Okay, hold on a second. So, coming up, I might as well just, where was it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, let me let me go here. Okay, never mind about faux Christians. Yeah, that's how do I get that? Oh, look at this genius. Yeah, let me show you this quickly. What does he say? If Sidney Winston can be demonstrated to be a sociopath and a pedophile, what does that have to say about the truth value of atheism? Oh, he provides an answer to the question, and the answer is zippity doo dah. I believe, Charlie, that you and Von Helton share a 190 IQ. You chop it up. Half of it is yours and half of it is Von Helton. Now, I'm not as smart as you, and I don't know what half of 190 is, but I'm thinking it's pretty low for an IQ. But to the point. Oh, I've got to get rid of that one as well. Hold on. Geez, I've been using this like every day, this StreamYard, and I'm still getting used to it. Oh, there we go. All right, so taking into account where Von Helton is today, living in his car miserably, let's have a quick look at the latest, just for
Here's one for you. A
bunch
bunch of workers.
Okay, I'm just going to just stream through it here.
Cannot perceive 5D, but he's still there.
For a little
Was
bit.
able to scoop it because I mean, if it's a residual.
He's sitting in his car and he's talking to himself. So we'll go back here. Now, this is the video where Von Helton, and you guys need a notebook and a pencil so you can take notes and follow the rules that Von Helton lays out for financial success. You won't believe this, actually.
Alrighty, somebody requested that I do a Von Helton short on what I think about the future, what I see the gods wanting the future to be, that sort of thing. And I've talked about this at length other times, but I guess they wanted it encapsulated in one quick, easy reference that they can go back and click on, or that they can show people and say, here it is, here's the definitive thing, okay? Basically, what I've been telling you and what the gods have been imparting to me is that, see, every 36,000 years, the death angel comes and it waits.
Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, this is 3 years ago, and this is the story about the death angel. It used to be 38,000 years ago. As since he's been living in his car and he's been telling the story, it's 38,000. Back in the beginning, the original, it's 36,000. At least the original, the earliest one I know of is this story. I'm sorry, I kind of interrupted at the wrong point, so I'm just going to go back a sec. There we go.
1,000 years, the death angel comes and it weighs
Oh,
humanity
shit.
in the balance.
I didn't go back far enough. Here you go.
Is that see, every 36,000 years, the death angel comes and it weighs humanity in the balance. And if we're not up to snuff, we get wiped out and all new humanity starts all over again every 36,000 years. Well, this time it's a little bit different because this time, it isn't our fault. This time it's the fault of 300 elite families that are currently hoarding 90% of the Earth's wealth. And they have manipulated mankind for centuries at least, if not millennia. Some say that these ancient families go all the way back to biblical days. Okay, but no matter what the story is, there is no question that we didn't get to the place we are now on our own. We were forced into it by these elite families. And so when I confronted the gods about this, they actually agreed with me. They said, hey, it's not your fault. So when
he had conversations with, when I confronted the gods about this, they agreed with me. I can imagine Vaughn and the gods sitting at this round table with Vaughn, of course, at the head, with a big throne or a big chair, the biggest chair. Sorry.
The death angel comes this time, it's not coming for all of humanity. It's just coming for these elites. They're going to suffer. They're going to wish they had never been born because they have so mistreated mankind. And the gods and all this stuff that they're pushing now with transgenderism and promoting homosexuality and promoting all these things that clearly go against nature. The gods are not pleased in that. And so we're going to see an amazing upheaval of the 300 elite families. Currently, these families are currently hoarding 90% of the Earth's wealth. Okay, so when they're put out of the way, all that wealth is coming back to us in the form of a massive jubilee.
Ooh.
Now you say, well, Vaughn, jubilee is considered a Jewish term more than a pagan one. And that may be, but everything comes from paganism ultimately. But you're right, it is technically considered a Jewish term, but it doesn't matter because everyone will get a jubilee as a result of these elites being taken out. Whether they're just reduced to a paper tiger or whether they're actually taken out.
What the hell is a jubilee? So if I'm following Von Helton, this angel of death is going to come and take out 300 elite families. And I guess everybody who's left is going to get this jubilee, whatever that is. I hope he explains it.
That's up to the gods. That's not up to me. But one thing's for sure. Once they're out of the way, we get a windfall. We're going to get, we get a new currency, hopefully one based on prosperity. And as a result, we enjoy a massive party, man. I mean, there's going to be people are literally going to be partying in the streets. I guarantee you,
literally,
because all that wealth, 90% of the Earth's wealth, is being hoarded by these families. When all that comes back into the system again, we're going to be all of us will be filthy rich. We'll all be filthy rich, and this time, boys and girls, listen to me. This time, don't squander the money on stupid shit.
Here it comes.
Be very frugal. You want to buy a nice car, you want to buy a nice boat or something, fine. But have a CPA monitor your finances with you and make sure you don't go out here and spend every dime of the money. And then you're sitting there wondering, well, what am I going to do now? I ain't got no food. Put that money in investments. Have a CPA go over it with you as to what to do, how to best manage your money, how to diversify your portfolio. That's what they call it. They call it diversifying your portfolio. In other words, in layman's terms, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Penny stocks is a good thing to get into because it's very cheap and it can make big rewards. Okay, so Look into penny stocks. But like I said, when you if and when you do get a lot of money, have a CPA on standby so that you aren't running around here squandering every dime of your money. That's just good business, okay? That's just good logical sense. And because you don't want to spend all your money on one day and then the next day you're starving to death again like you was before. That's not good. Okay, you want to learn how to invest the money, you want to learn how to put the money back, you want to learn what to put the money in that's going to give you the highest yield. And the CPA will help you. How do I, you tell the CPA, how much money do I get back on this? How much is my return? And the CPA will help you find things that get you a huge return on your money. Instead of squandering your money, have your money make you money. That's the difference. That's the difference between Donald Trump and everybody else, is that Donald Trump figured out how to get his money to make him money. And Warren Buffett and all these other guys, that's the trick. They figured out how to get their money to make them money. Okay. So that's what you need to do. And you can talk to a CPA about it, and the CPA will guide you a little bit. Ultimately it's still your choice, but you need,
I would like to know the name of Von Helton's CPA when he had, when he was, well, at that particular time when he was living in the trailer and he owned it and he owned all this land. What was the name of his CPA? Because if he had a CPA and he was getting advice from this CPA as he's advising all of us, he should sue the CPA for that $32 million or whatever the hell he got bad advice if he had a CPA.
You might want to need a refresher, or you might want to, see if he'll point you in a couple directions. But getting your money to make you money is the key point. It's why all these rich people stay rich, because they figured out how to get their money to make them money. And you need to do the same. And so do I. We all, I'm speaking to myself too. we all need to figure this stuff out, and we need to make sure we don't go out here and blow all of our money on riotous living. That's not good. And I can tell you right now, the gods I serve, they don't play. You go out here and blow all your money and you're poor again and you're starving. Sucks to be you, bro.
Just saying, man.
It's going to scoop, but the scoop's going to be empty, right? The scoop's not going to.
Sucks to be you, Eugene. Irvy. Just saying.
Because the gods are not going to help you if you fuck up and blow all your money a second time. This is a massive, massive reprieve. This is literally a second chance at life for everyone. Don't blow it. Don't be stupid and go out here and blow all your money on partying and shit. Okay. Figure out how to put it back. Figure out how to invest. Figure out how to get your money to make you money. And like I said, if you need to hire a CPA, or if you need to talk to an accountant or something, then do so.
Very good. So that's your financial advisor, Von Helton. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would really trust him as a financial advisor. Just saying, no. I don't know, man. Let's see. Shanny, guess what she's doing? She's eating.
Hot damn, that's good.
What do you expect?
My favorite diet that I've been on for months now is the high protein, low carb diet. I fucking love it.
Boiled egg? Wish her mood swings are like every hour. Dude, you missed that one. You missed the Von Helton. Well, you could always watch it. It's hilarious, actually.
He's in the reflection of my glasses. I wish.
She's missing Jason. Hey, rebuke and reprove, Christian man. What do you got to say about these?
Hey, Jason, the gig is up.
About
You
this?
might as well come out.
This Christian. She's the king. She's the queen of Christianity. This one.
Let's see if he'll come out.
She's the leader. She's the female leader of Christianity, and Jason is the king of Christianity. Jason actually personifies a perfect Christian. Debauched, lost, deranged, psychotic, stupid, ignorant, unintelligent, a typical Christian. This is Jason. Now, Shanny's no different. Also, a perfectly typical Christian. Online Christian. Okay, let's just say online Christian, because what people do in their private lives that are not online is not my business. What you got to say, Shane?
Not there yet.
But really, the dumbest Christian who's online, who's still online, is G-Man. Absolutely no doubt about it. The guy is a fool. There's G-Man, and there's that other guy who I think he's still around somewhere. Nephilim Free. That's what he calls himself. There's Nephilim Free, Mr. Batman. These are the the crazy Christians from the old days. Sorry, I muted you, Shanny.
Hell yeah, you eat good at that place. You're gonna love the food.
So I don't know if I want to watch Shanny eating and drinking. But what we could do,
When I was out, there's actually an eyeglasses place right near me.
yeah, what we could do is actually go and watch Von Helton's latest contribution from his car in his current state. And I will switch that off. And what's that? Oh, yes, Vile Vagabond Eugene. All right.
Here's one for you. A bunch of workers arrived at a dig site out in the woods and was getting ready to start work when they noticed somebody was already working.
I've watched this, and let me tell you something. It is, never mind that it's, it's irrelevant, and it's obviously fantastical, and it's obviously maybe fear-mongering. I don't know what this guy's trying to he's like really into UFO and paranormal stuff. But above it all, he's boring. He's so fucking boring. He's even more boring than I am. Play, buddy, play.
As they got closer, they noticed that a backhoe was already digging land up and depositing it in another spot. The problem is that as they got closer to the backhoe, they noticed that there's nobody operating it. Now, I am not a backhoe operator, but I am believing that it takes moving.
But he is a backhoe, if you get what I mean.
More than one lever to scoop up the dirt and then move the whole arm to the other side of the vehicle and then deposit the dirt.
Yep.
I would think that would require the use of at least more than one lever. But now I am not a backhoe expert. I've never worked a backhoe, but I would think it would be pretty involved. But yet these workers arrive at the scene It's already digging dirt. It's already digging dirt and moving it out of the way and whatnot. And this was live on video, and they come up on it, and it's already digging dirt. It's like, what the hell? So now that you know, there's a lot of speculation about this video. Is it a ghost that's doing it? A poltergeist? Is it perhaps a worker that somehow got phased out of reality or something, and to where that we can't see him, but he's still there? You know, kind of like 5D. You know, where we in 3D cannot perceive 5D, but he's still there and still working. I don't know. There's a lot of speculation going on about this video, but it is a video. And but yeah, it's pretty wild, man. Pretty bizarre. You know, the backhoe's just, it goes to one side of the backhoe and scoops up some dirt, goes all the way around to the other side and deposits the dirt. and it does it over and over and over. And it's a fresh scoop of dirt every time, by the way. So, you know, because I know, you know, for me, what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look to see if it is a reoccurring thing. If it, in other words, if it does the exact same thing every time. Well, this one didn't. It always scooped up some dirt, and always was able to scoop it. Because I mean, you know, if it's a residual thing, it's going to scoop, but the scoop's going to be empty, right? And the scoop's not going to have any dirt. Well, this time, this one always had dirt, so it's not residual energy. It is an actual entity of some kind, whether it be a human that got phased out, or whether it's a ghost, or what. Because I don't think you could turn it on in such a way to where that it would do that all by itself. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think I am. It seems to me like you would have to have a human doing that. So, and like I said, every time it scooped it, it got dirt. So, you know, it's a baffling thing, and there's a lot of talk online about it, and I thought, well, hell, I'll share that with my audience and see what y'all think. But yeah, I mean, they walk up ready to start to work, and they're like, damn, somebody's already got here early and started working. And you know, as they got closer and looked inside the turret, nobody there. Nobody there. But it's picking up a scoop of dirt, and it's moving all the way across, all the way around to the other side and dropping the dirt. And it's going back and it's picking up another scoop of dirt, and then it's going and dropping it out. And this is all on video. This is all live on video, man. And they're like,
I call total bullshit to that. Where's the video? It's all live on video. Look at that lying. This is when you know when he lies. He does this funny face giggle, and that's it. That's a snapshot of his funny face giggle when he lies.
they can't believe their eyes. They're like, wait a minute, what the hell? There's nobody operating that backhoe. And it was a nice backhoe too. It was one that was sealed up and had air conditioning and whatnot. It was really nice backhoe. But yeah, man, it's sitting there scooping dirt and dropping it on the other side, and ain't nobody in the driver's seat. So what's up with that? Now that's interesting. And like I said, there's a lot of speculation on this video, because I mean, hey, it's live on video, you know. Now it's not like it's a figment of the imagination. This was caught live on video by all the workers, you know. All the workers, they all got their damn flip phones, you know. So they're recording to beat the band on this thing.
But where are the videos? Tell us where to go and look at them, please.
Sitting there scooping all by itself. So I thought I'd share. I said that sounds like a great story. I'll share that with my audience. So there you go, guys. So what do you think? You think it's a ghost? Do you think it's somebody that's
Never, never, ever, ever.
phased in
Google it. Look it up. Videos are out there. Numerous. Blah, blah, blah. Never.
to 5D or some shit, and we just can't see them anymore? Do you think it's I don't know, some kind of alternate reality or some shit? Who the fuck knows? But it's got a lot of people talking, so I thought, well, hell, I'll share that with my group and see what they think. 'Cause that's pretty bizarre, man. You know, backhoe working all by itself. Because, like I said, it seemed like you would have to move at least more than one lever in order to get it to do all that. You know.
Anyway.
But I don't know. Like I said, I don't work a backhoe. I've never worked a backhoe. I know people that have, but I ain't one of them. But I thought it was intriguing enough to share it with y'all and see what y'all think. So anyway, that's going to do it. Have a good evening, folks.
Bye. Bye. All right. Let's see what we can come up with next, because this is really boring. You know, Von Helton's just, he's lost his luster. But what we can do is this. What do you think of this? G-Man, at some point a year ago, had this to say about Shanny and Jason. Or is it Jason and Shanny? I don't want to be incorrect. Come on, dude. Here you go. Audio. You know what that's like. Mute.
All right. So there we go.
Oh,
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Revelation News channel. And this video wasn't going to take long, so that's why I didn't let the intro go as long as I normally do. I don't have videos to watch. This is going to be rather quick. At least I think it is. I'm going to be talking directly to Shanny and Rev for the duration of this video. It's not me ignoring the audience or nothing like that. It's just me getting something off of my chest. Shanny, some things need to be said to you, and I'm just going to try to say this as quickly and as thoroughly as possible to you, okay? And I'm not going to spare your feelings. I'm just going to lay it out there, okay? You, for a very long time, Shanny, have been putting on this front on YouTube that you're a Christian, and you had a lot of us fooled. I can get a lot of people from the Great Debate days that will come on here and will argue that during those particular days that you had them convinced at some point, maybe you was a little immature or whatever, that you was a Christian. And so the same thing can be said about Rev. The problem with that kind of thinking then is because of how we're seeing you behave now and what some of us believe about salvation. You get angry and you get upset and you even get frustrated and flustered when you hear one of us criticize you about not being a Christian. And we have valid reasons to believe that you're not a Christian, okay? Everything from your language to what you consider to be fun and what you think you're doing for the Lord. If it's not doing porn, it's getting high, getting on drugs and justifying it, and always talking about yourself. I don't think you are able to see just how often you make everything about you, all right? You cannot be part of the kingdom of God if all you do, and by the way, I got my quesadillas here, I got my cake here, and I got my all healthy juice over there, my pineapple juice over here, and I'm gonna enjoy some. But I want to say something to Shanny first. So as far as your Christianity goes, you can quote as many Bible verses as you want. As far as I'm concerned, I might as well be listening to an atheist. You don't know what you're talking about, Shanny. So let's get on and off that topic right then and there. The second thing that I want to say to you, Shanny, is this. Ever since I've known you, no, not ever since I've known you, since the day you gave me that house. Now, I'm not talking about what I came on YouTube and said about myself. I'm not talking about what I've revealed on YouTube myself regarding my personal life, because there's something I do value on here. And the one thing I do value is my personal life. I value that a lot. That's why I don't get on here and I don't talk about it. Something like that will get you into legal trouble with a person like me, because I value it so much. If you want me to respect your private life, I expect you to do the same thing with me. All right. Shanny, since the day you gave me, I'm sorry, not Shanny, Jason, ever since Shanny gave me your house the first time when she went, you know, before you guys kicked me out of there, all you guys have been doing is blurting out my real name and putting out my personal information out there. And I have expressed on many occasions how much I dislike that. Now, you guys got to understand something for the newer people that know me on here. When I was in the Great Debate days, I had people like Steve Shives. I had people like, I had some pretty popular people that I was talking to in private that was telling me things about their personal life. And one of the things that they knew about me was this: if I told them that if they share something personal with me, I would not repeat it on social media. And I think a lot of these people took advantage of that, because when I started getting under the skin of some of these people, they thought that it was okay for them to start blurting out my personal life and everything on YouTube just to get me mad and to get me angry on here and everything. So I went back on what I said, and I said, you want to know what? This is how you guys are going to deal with me. This is how I'm going to deal with you. And Shanny thinks because Rev gave me a house, that means it's okay for her to blurt out my personal life. A lot of you don't know this, but when they kicked me out of the house the first time, that was the end of that friendship. I ended up forgiving them, and that's how the house situation happened again. They decided that they wanted to give it to me, but we all know about the trickery and everything with that. But for some reason, Shanny thinks that because they do something nice for you, that means that they have the right to go out there and put all your private life on social media for everybody to hear this. I've heard her talk about her mother's personal life without her mother's permission. I've heard her talk about Jason's personal family life without his permission. I've heard her talk about her family's life and other YouTubers' life on here without their permission. She believes that she can get on here and say whatever she wants and she can get away with it. All right. And Shanny, I want you to know something here. Okay. One of the things that I really don't like about you, and I seriously despise about you, that I absolutely despise, is that you have absolutely no self-control whatsoever when it comes to other people's privacy. And then you have the nerve and the audacity to get angry at somebody when they talk about your personal life, even though all you do is blah, 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 blah. And people can come on here and give their own personal opinions about what I've said and what I haven't said. I know legally what I've said on here, and I know legally what I haven't said on here. And if you haven't heard me say it, that person is being stalky-ish or whatever it is that they're doing. And I'm not nice with that kind of thing. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going at Shanny so hard. Okay, you guys got to understand something. I was friends with these people. I was spending my hard-earned money on these people, and they were making promises to me that they was going to fill out paperwork and that they was going to do all these different, and they never did it. They just laid around the house. You know what I mean? Obviously, some people on YouTube knew them better than me in the sense that they were watching a lot of their material. I wasn't. That's why I'm so thankful for these the archive channels, because I'm like, what? And I didn't know all of this stuff about her. And then I'm seeing this manifest with me knowing them personally. So I took it kind of hard when, and only me and Rev know how angry I really was that day when I got him that job and he turned it down, not once, but twice, embarrassing me with this contractor and not taking that job. Okay. I was so angry that I was about to throw them all out in the street, kids included. I was very, very, very angry when that happened. I wasn't cussing or none of that stuff, but like I said, I was ready to go over there, open the door, and tell them to get out. I was going to send the contractors over there, knock out all of the windows, take off the doors, and let them freeze to death if they don't get out. Like I was pretty angry during that particular time. And like I said, Rev understands how angry I was. But just imagine that you're taking all your hard-earned money and you got these people making these promises that they're going to do these things, like trying to get their lives together, and they don't do anything. And then on top of that, they're making money. They're making thousands of dollars on social media, and you don't even know about it until Jason, who talks too much, one too many different times, tells you about what's going on with Shanny, how much money she's making, and how she doesn't worry about getting thrown out because she's going to claim squatters' rights. Doesn't even know the law on it, but thinks she's going to claim squatters' rights. So yeah, I'm very.
This is pretty prescient of Mr. G-Man there. She's going to claim squatters' rights. This is from June of 2024, over a year ago. So this has all been planned. This whole Shanny shtick in the house and staying in the house as squatters' rights, it's all been in the works for a long time.
I gotta put this because if I say okay, when I was going through that, I would say I was pretty angry, but I would say today that I have a righteous indignation towards them. I feel used by these two. I feel like they were never genuinely friends to me. And I think that these two only gave me that house for me to fix it up so that they can try to manipulate me into giving it back to them so that they can go back to being the pompous scum that they were when they were living in Boulder, Colorado. All right. That's for the people out there that don't fully understand why I'm going back and forth with them and everything right now. But Shanny, I want you to understand something here. Okay, I want you to understand this here. I'm not calling you names like calling you a low-value woman or calling you a whore or a prostitute or calling you a fatty and all this other stuff without any backing to it. I'm not mindlessly calling you names. There is a reason why I'm saying these things to you. Because this is how you behave. These are the things that you're actually actively doing. Okay? I have never called you a racial slur before, but you have called me a racial slur on multiple occasions. You keep talking about how I took $7,000, yet you haven't even proven that. You claim the unthinkable and said that I forced myself on someone, yet you never provided any proof for that. All you do is you hear stuff and then you act upon it and you don't think about it. And then you think that somehow that's gonna it's going to make you look good. No, it's not going to make you look good. No one's going to feel sympathetic towards you. What they're going to do is they're going to see the real you and they're going to steer clear away from you. You don't even know who the people are that are supporting you. I know who they are, but you don't. You really don't. You get an email and my name's on it and it's automatically G-Man. You have learned nothing, absolutely nothing, absolutely nothing. Then you wonder when you wake up in the morning while you're sleeping on a couch filled with urine and human manure remains, and you wonder why you're sleeping on a couch full of cat pee and the house smells the way it smells. You wonder why you're getting up every day because in that kind of environment, because you put yourself in that environment. Because you put yourself in that environment. Ask that humanoid that you call a boyfriend, would you be going through this if you never made that video? And you would have found a way to support yourself for a week when I told you I had to get surgery. Ask your humanoid boyfriend whether or not you would have went through that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get my stuff together because I was actually going to eat, but I went to get a couple of things off my chest. And Shannon, you keep coming back to this, G-Man likes you and G-Man likes you and G-Man likes you. I don't know how many times I got to make a YouTube video and tell you that that's not the case. I felt genuinely bad for Jason because you basically played him. You literally, see, Shanny, you're so disgustingly evil that you're advertising yourself to other people on YouTube right in front of him. He doesn't even see it. He's not paying attention to what you're actually doing because you're his first girl and you took his virginity and he's got the blinders on. He can't see anything. You don't see how you came into his life, lied to him about Bible prophecy. See, Shanny, I'm just going to keep it $150 here, okay? You lied to him about Bible prophecy, told him that Jesus was probably going to return in the next couple of years, so he shouldn't have all of that money, and you got him to spend and to spend and to spend. Just like you got him into this communist thinking, just like you got him into all of this stupidity that he's into right now. This is a young man that needs to go somewhere where he can get some structure and he can learn how to be a man. He doesn't need to be around a dirty, filthy worm like yourself. You're nasty. You don't want to do anything for yourself. But I'm going to tell you something. Jason's perfect for you. Because, Jason, this is where I do support you. This is where I support you 100% concerning Shanny. Okay? Since she refuses to do something with her life, that statement that you made, Jason, when you said that you would rather be homeless than get a job, that's the perfect judgment for Shanny. She doesn't understand that literally you two are an argument away from with the uncle. One argument away with the uncle, or 5 minutes away from the uncle, them just throwing you guys out in the street. And ever since I've known you, Shanny, all you do is just blurt out what you believe is my personal information on here, and then you share it with other people on here, and then they act accordingly. One thing that everybody who watches this channel, any of my channels, need to know about me, I pay attention to what is being said and what is being done. If I have not said it and somebody else has said it, it is being documented and it is being recorded. I am not playing about that. You know what I mean? Because you got too many people out there that claim that they want their privacy, and then they go out there and they share your privacy with everybody. Like I said, it's all good. I just hope you can handle it when it's done to you. You know what I mean? But Shanny, it's your fault. I still remember that video, Shanny, where you made a video and you told everybody to do a background search on me. G-Man's got DUIs and G-Man's got this. Yet and still, if you actually go a couple of years before you did that, I talked about how I'm a victim of identity theft. And it is a known fact in New Jersey that I'm a victim of identity theft, and I'm actually in the middle of fighting Jersey City so I can get back my driver's. So I'm sorry, not so I can get it back, so that I can get my driver's license. I can't go to driving school because somebody took my identity, pretended that they were me, and accumulated all these tickets and all these things and whatnot. You know what I mean? I can't get my license. But then you decided to get on YouTube when I was living in our house because you thought you was entitled to go in here and say all this stuff. And I meant what I said when I was in that house, that you're lucky you did that in Boulder and you was not in my presence, because not everybody is Chris and not everybody is Jason. Not everybody is these two. Okay? And not everybody's going to react to you. Like this video here with you punching this thing here. Yeah, you look real sick, Shanny. You look real sick. Not everybody's going to react the same way to you. You need to understand something here. The world is a lot bigger than Chris, Doug, and Jason. And there's a lot of men that ain't putting up with it. So am I angry, Shanny? Am I mad again? Yes, I am. I'm very angry toward you because you lied to me with many different layers. You lied to me when you guys came from Colorado and you came to Pennsylvania. You lied to me. You and Jason looked me right in my eyes and you lied to me. Then you tried to commit fraud. And this is the real issue, Jason. You keep talking about you want to involve the authorities. Listen to me. I encourage you to do it. That means you have to go to court, and that means you got to start dealing with the police. And that would be perfect for me. Absolutely perfect. Because I'm going to tell you something. The second I find out that I can do something about some of the stuff that happened when you guys are living in that house, it's over for you. I won't think twice about it. I won't think 2 times about it. Because I believe, the same way I believe when I had GTV, that the only way you're ever going to get any results around here is to make examples out of people. You know what I mean? And I'm not the kind of person that you want to trifle with. I am no nonsense when it comes to certain things on here. There are some things on here I'm goofy and I'll run my mouth and I won't do anything. But then there's other things that you don't want to test me on. You do not want to test me on it. You keep getting on here. G-Man likes me. G-Man's going to do this to me. And G-Man's stalking. And G-Man's doing this. And G-Man's doing that. And G-Man's doing this. And G-Man's doing that. And you lie. And you lie. And you lie. And you lie. And then you claim that you're a child of God and that you're a Christian. You are not a Christian. You are not following Jesus. You are following Shanny. Jason's following Shanny. He's walking around here claiming that he's trans, going around and claiming that he's effeminate, claiming that he's this, that, and the other, and then claiming he's a child of God. Cussing up a storm and telling people that there's nothing wrong with white magic. There's nothing wrong with witchcraft. And he's claiming to be a child of God. He's claiming to be a follower of Jesus Christ. Not only was Israel told to stay away from witchcraft, but the church was told to do the same thing. So, Shanny, you need to understand the real issue here, the real crux of it. You got on here and you told everybody that I gave you a death sentence. That you lied to everybody and said that the doctors told you that your feet had to be elevated. The doctors told you no such thing. You got on here and told everybody that you was going to get blood clots. Nobody told you that. You went on Google and you researched that. And you tried to convince people on YouTube yet again that I was this evil person because I had to go take care of me for a little bit, and you had to take care of yourself. You're a grown woman. Get a job. Pay your own bills. You keep singing that song, I don't want no scrub. Woman, do you understand do you understand the purpose of the song? This is a woman this is a group of people, a group of women singing that they don't want nobody who can't do anything for them. Yet and still you're with somebody who ain't doing nothing for you. You love scrubs. You worship scrubs. You have sex with scrubs. I'm sorry, I'm not qualified, and I am not no scrub. You keep saying my real name on here over and over and over and over, Shanny, and then you want people to have pity for you when Carrie gets on here and start exposing you for the demon that you actually are. And I'm gonna tell you something else. This ain't just Shanny doing this no more. Because now she's got supporters. You see, Teddy Bear 55, me and you are about to have a problem. And all your little elk, we are about to start having problems because you are financially supporting a dock dropper. You keep doing that, and I promise you, you are going to regret it. Because for what I understand, you have a parole officer and you have all these different things and whatnot. Dude, you don't want the sauce with me. You do not want it. You don't want it. Let me show you guys something here. This is my quesadilla that I'm going to enjoy soon. I don't know if this camera does it any justice. It's like a cheese chicken quesadilla with a salad. I went out and got this. This is fresh pineapple and water. They made a jugo de pina. I went out and got me some cake that I'm going to eat afterward. Then I went.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So we're going to go and talk. We're going to go switch to the woman that he was actually talking about, the Shanny.
You. How could I make such a decision so fast?
What is she talking about? Oh, everybody giving her advice?
Well, she would like me anyway. Jason always said she would like me.
Well, she's dead. I think she's talking about Jason's mother. Somebody's mother.
Well, Grandma and Grandpa, your grandson has put your dick in me so many damn times. And I've been wifey for years. And he's been my husband, so...
So?
Divorce me. Such a romantic. I love it. Oh, I love romance. Woo me, Welshman. Woo me.
Woomy Welshman? Oh, there must be somebody in the crowd.
Ghost in Lost. Jesus Christ.
What's she laughing at?
No, Blue. What are you going to talk about? Benjamin Franklin again? He is a simp. Like, he's so in love with me. He can't help himself. Did I have a crush on Steve McRae? No. Hi, Matt. How are you, sweetheart? I'm delusional? Cool. Probably is takedown man.
I don't know about this. This is so slow moving. It's
No.
hauntingly ridiculous. And as I said before, I'm having problems with my mouth.
We do not yoke.
Sorry, but there we go. Finally.
That's cool, Matt. I'm glad you came home safe. How was the road? Out where you're at. Ice cream cake is really good. I've had that several times, Courtney. That's some good shit.
Let's go back to G-Man because she's boring.
I have a crush on Magneto from the X-Men.
Go back to G-Man.
Me too, but he...
Oh, stop that. Who cares? Okay, let's just see where G-Man's at here in this conversation.
There are certain YouTubers on here I know, and you can tell by the way that they present themselves on here that you don't do certain things to certain people on here. You know what I mean? There are people in the atheist community that you can tell by listening to them that they are not to be trifled with when you deal with them personally. There are people, regardless of their religious background, when you talk to them, you can hear it in their voice, and you can see it in how they carry themselves, that there are certain people in here you don't mess with. And you got me confused, Shanny, with some of these other people on here that you can mess with. So let this be a warning to you. You've been arrested in Boulder, Colorado. I know about your little warrants, okay, over there in Duluth, okay? You need to chill out with all of the, and you too, Jason, because you keep saying my real name on here over and over and over and over and over and over again. Keep it up, bub. Keep it up. Keep it up. I wish GTV was still up so I can show you what happened to the last person that did that. I'm not afraid of your little legal threats. You should be afraid of mine, though. Because whether you like it or not, Shanny, we are living in the era of Black Lives Matter. And I think you need to think about that. You racist piece of garbage. All right? So I don't trust you, Shanny. You don't tell the truth. You're a false prophet. You're a false teacher. You're a false brethren, meaning you ain't no Christian. I don't fear anything that you have to say because you don't speak with the authority or the power of the Holy Spirit. And to me personally, human being to human being, you're a joke. You're an utter, absolute joke. Instead of you focusing on getting a job, getting a savings account and saving your money and trying to edify yourself and build yourself up and try to get yourself your own place, you would rather get on social media and act like a little tough guy and think you're something that you're not. Meanwhile, you're getting on here begging people you don't even know for money in order to be able to survive, all at the same time. Do I look like I'm wearing a curtain for clothing? Before I sold that house, did I look like I was wearing a curtain for clothing? I got Matt Dillahunty running in the other direction when it comes to dealing with me. What makes you think, because you're getting $5 here, $1 there, and $2 there, that somehow is making you somehow superior to deal with somebody like yours truly? Talking about I'm the same person that cried when you pretended to be an atheist. Shanny, I'm the same person that goes out there and deal with those racist Hebrew Israelites 50-1 sometimes. And for the people that think I'm exaggerating, go look it up. That is no exaggeration. And they're the ones that's trying to get away from me, not the other way around. Go on Clubhouse. You'll see what I'm talking about. Talking about some G-Man, you hid your channel. My channel is not hidden. Type in XX0054. My channel is doing just fine. I'm only talking about real Bible prophecy. I'm talking about the coming of the one world religion, something that I know that you're going to be part of, Shanny, because you preach about it every day, every time you get a chance to talk about it on your channel. You false prophet and you false teacher. I'm just waiting until you do it enough where I can make a documentary and show people just how stupid you really are. Now, my Bible tells me not to repay evil for evil, but rather repay evil with good. So sometimes when you get on here, Shanny, and you say things and you don't see me responding, it's because I'm like, I'm not even going to respond. I'm not going to say nothing. But then you push and then you try and then you push. And I have to respond to certain things that are being said. And I want to say this again. I am not sexually attracted to you. I am not physically attracted to you. Shanny, I'm going to run in my 6th marathon. Do you understand what a person has to go through to get their body ready to do something like that? Let me tell you what I can't do. I can't sit on some PP couch all day, watching TV all day, acting like a tough guy on YouTube all day, and actually prepare for a marathon. You can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot do that. I have to actually exercise. I have to take care of my body. I have to break it and beat it down so it's strong enough to be able to go out there and endure what you got to endure. You have to actually like pain to do what I do. Weird but true. You have to actually have a liking for it. You got to like suffering. Something I know you don't want to do because you don't even want to walk from your couch to the door to see what the mailman is doing. You have to send Rev to do that too. That's how lazy you are. You're quick to tell everybody that I like you. You're slow to tell everybody why that's the case. You tell everybody I got this crush on you and everything and that I want you, but why? Give me some logic behind why this is the case. Come on, Jason. You talk about it. Explain to me what it is about you that I want. Listen, how about this? I'm going to pick somebody on here I don't like, who I would rather be with than you, who is very similar to you, Shanny. Okay? You claim that you're LGBTQ. You claim that you're a Christian, and you claim that you're this sexy beast or whatever, right, Shanny? Right? Here's somebody that doesn't like me, and somebody that I ain't that crazy about. I think there's a little bit of a mutual respect there, a little bit though. Somebody who's LGBTQ, and somebody who is actually pretty good at debating, and that's Bionic Dance. I would rather pursue Bionic Dance, and for those of you who know me from the Great Debate days, you know where I'm getting at with this. I would rather pursue Bionic Dance and try to be with her forever. And if she was watching this, she would be laughing, and it'd be vomit and everything coming out of her mouth and everything and whatnot. And like I said, if you was around during the Great Debate days, you'll understand why I'm saying all of this. Then pursue you, Shanny. As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. Eve Real, not the Eve Real who converted back to theism. I would rather pursue Eve Real as an atheist, as a militant atheist, who is saying nothing but disrespectful things about my God, than to deal with a disgusting deceiver like yourself. These are character things, Shanny. Not only physically don't you got it, but you don't have the character. You refuse to go to a speech therapist and do something about the G at the end of your words. You don't even want to deal with that. It's always somebody else, and always what somebody else is doing, and it's never you. However, how can you repent of something if you can't even acknowledge that you've done something wrong? You haven't acknowledged that you've done something wrong. So how can you go around telling everybody you repented of this and you repented of that? I have yet to hear you talk about that famous video where you said that the doctors told you that your feet had to be elevated, yet and lo and behold, you're still here. You liar. You tell me that, and a lot of people don't know this, but Shanny was getting on my case in private. Why are you listening to Carrie? What did she say? Why are you listening to these people? They're lying to you, G-Man. They're lying to you, G-Man. Everything that Carrie says on her channel is true. And as much as I hate to admit this, and y'all know how I feel about Broke Nut, okay? As much as I hate to admit this, what the man was saying about Shanny was true. What BGTV, a lot of the things that they were saying regarding her habits, let me be specific about what I'm talking about. Her habits, how she conducts herself, them never wanting to get a job, them using people, those kind of things, I'm in agreement with them on now. I do not agree with some of the other things that they were doing, but I do agree that Shanny is a demonic, Black Widow, gold-digging slut. That is what she is. That is how she presents herself. That is how I see her because of the archive channels, some of these reaction channels, and basically being somebody who was around them a lot. Jason says that I should be grateful for what he did for me. I showed my gratitude and then some. And you was going to get blessed, and you was going to get blessed hard. But you know what? You seem to be allergic to a broom. You was allergic to a mop and then had the nerve. Jason, you had the nerve to get angry at me when I told you to clean the tub. Okay? When you guys were living in the latter days, when y'all were living inside of that house, I said, Jason, clean the tub. Y'all know what I was about to say. I said, clean the tub. It was gray stuff all around the bathtub, and he halved it. He didn't even do a good job, and the water wouldn't even go down because there was so much of that gray stuff around the tub. So I was mad, and I think the neighbors complained because I don't think I've ever talked that loud in that house a day in my life before. But I was very angry. And I told them they had to get out because they wouldn't keep the place clean. I think that's where y'all got that picture where that poop was around the litter box or whatever, right? And I told him to go in the bathroom and clean it. Shanny says, you know, G-man, you're acting like a crazy person. I said, clean the tub. I'm trying to sell this place. I'm trying to rent it out. Clean the tub. And you didn't even want to do that. Then you got the nerve to get on here and talk to me about what you're entitled to. You ain't entitled to nothing. You didn't pick up a brick. You ain't pick up a paintbrush. You ain't pick up nothing to do anything to that place. Your mom may have left it to you, but I was the one that resurrected it and made it something valuable. And now you're trashing your other house. Can you imagine these morons putting that house on the market and somebody walks in that house trying to sell it and they go, let me tell you guys something. I was supposed to get $190,000 for that house at one time. I was supposed to get 100. And then the original deal that I made with Rev is that I was going to give him about between 20 and 25 grand. But I had that place almost sold for 190. And I couldn't even show them the house because the place smelled like funk. It smelled like fungus feet. And I woke up William with the top of my lungs, and I woke up Zachary at the top of my lungs, and I woke up Shanny at the top of my lungs, and I woke up Jason at the top of my lungs, and I told them to get up and get in this kitchen and clean it up and clean up this place or get out. I was hot that day. They want all of the money, they want all of the glory, they want all of the compliments, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work. So Shanny, this is the reason why me and you are having a problem. You're going to frustrate me into giving you back the house by putting holes in the wall, breaking doors that I just bought. And then thinking I'm just going to let you just lay in that bed like a slob and let you stay there. I am holding back so much it's not even funny. I never put all of my information out here for everybody to know. I always hold on to something. That's why those two are playing with fire when they're messing with me. I'm a different kind of annoyance. When you're dealing with some of these other people, they're spectators. They never met you in person. There's a few YouTubers on here that met you. Agent, I think his name is Agent of Doubt. He met you. And I think it was a couple of other people. And everybody who's met you will back me up that you smell like a dead animal. That you two are allergic to soap and water. Except for the every now and then when you decide to take a shower because you got to be around certain people that are important. Shanny, why don't you tell them that if it wasn't for me, CPS would have took those kids a long time ago. Tell them that. If Dragnut had a brain back then, and if BGTV and all these other people that was attacking me back then had a brain, they would have stopped attacking me. Somebody would have pulled me to the side and started showing me some stuff. But nope, it was all about the money with these people. So you want to know why, Rev? You want to know the real reason why I changed my channel to Revelation News? You want to know the real reason why? Because I am obsessed with the idea of destroying everything that you came on YouTube lying about. Your testimony. I got to go around telling everybody my testimony. How many of you out there know his testimony? I've never heard it. What testimony? Shanny talks about love, love, love when it benefits Shanny. But when it's time to love other people, that woman don't got a clue on how to do it. Shanny, you can't define love and you don't know how to show love. What you know how to do is take and take and take and take and take. That's all you know how to do. You do not give. You gave away somebody else's money. When was the last time you gave away your money, Shanny? What you worked for? Well, what you took from other people. When are you going to do that? When you brought those homeless people in, when you were living with your mother, it was in your mother's house. It wasn't in your house. That's one thing I noticed about you. When it's yours, you're going to hold on to it. I noticed that when Red was giving all this stuff away, you never wanted to give away none of your things. Because you're a user and you're a black widow. You are not the kind of person that a man can go to work, come home, bring his paycheck home to somebody, and then watch you do the right thing with it. You're not that kind of a person. You are not responsible in that way. You're the kind of person that will take a man's hard-earned money and take it and go smoke it up. That's what you are. While sleeping with somebody else in the basement, plotting on leaving the person that you're with. It's disgusting what you're doing to Jason, but you want to know what? He deserves it. Because Jason knows what's going on, and he refuses to do anything about it. He refuses to do anything about it. That guy is not as dumb as you guys think he is. He's playing along. He's doing what he's told. Now, he is clueless when Shanny's flirting with other people. He really doesn't know when she's doing it. Which is why she constantly gets away with it. Yet she won't shave her head. Yet she won't allow him to humiliate her. And Shanny, had I known this about you in the beginning, I'm telling you, you would have never made it this far. You'd have never made it this far. We would have ran you off of social media a very long time ago. Think about it. No Rand, no Ron. Back then when Sabella was supporting you a little bit, myself and the other Christians that was in the community. Every other video would have been, Shanny's a devil. Shanny's a devil. She needs to repent. Don't accept her into the community. I'm still learning about this woman's past. Some people tell me I'm simping for Carrie. I'm simping for Carrie. And I'm simping for Carrie. What am I supposed to do? Get on here and say Carrie's lying? What is she lying about concerning Shanny? What is she lying about concerning Shanny? What is Carrie lying about concerning Shanny? I want the video and I want a timestamp. How is that simping? What about?
I still don't understand what it is that between Shanny and Carrie, what went on there, because I kind of really wasn't following along with Carrie at the time, and or Shanny at the time and Carrie, so I wasn't party to that relationship over time. I just know that it went sour for some reason, and I don't know why.
I started getting on here and started saying, well, Miss Parker is telling the truth. Am I simping for Miss Parker or the blue-haired girl on the Geek Room? If I started saying, oh, she's spitting out those facts, am I simping for her? Carrie is a happily married woman. She has a family. I just happen to like how she's dealing with the Shanny stuff. That's it. It's not perfect, but it's something that I like to watch to see Shanny get exposed. Then it's not just her. I think Drader does a decent job. I wish he would stop making jokes about the warts all the time, but you know what I mean? He does a really good job catching Shanny at the little things, where the manipulation starts and where it begins, the origins of it. He's really good at that. He had the guts to call her on the phone and to call her out about some things. Make fun of her a little bit, you know? Knock her off a high horse. See, my Bible tells me that pride cometh before the fall and the haughty spirit before the destruction. And Shanny isn't just proudful. That woman's on the level of Lucifer prideful. This woman thinks she's going to be a deity someday or whatever. And Jason, you need to understand something about the woman that you're with. That woman had a fake conversion. I think Shanny's an atheist. And you need to start looking into that. Look at what you used to believe and look at what you believe now. And why you believe the things, if you got the courage to do it. That's what real men do. We examine ourselves. I don't know. Maybe I should stop getting bent out of shape when people mention personal life on here and whatnot. Because honestly, I would rather it be that way anyway. Because this stuff you get nipped in the butt with one visit. To be perfectly honest, this stuff can be nipped in the butt once you visit the person one time. To be perfectly honest, it can be nipped in the butt so fast it's not even funny. Dragnet knows what I'm talking about. A lot of these people met me in person. They know how I am. So I'm a very outgoing person. And in public, I'm not one of these people that cares about what the next person thinks. I'm extremely consistent with the way I am on YouTube or on social media. Let's just say social media, because I ain't just on here. I'm on different parts of social media. If you don't see me on here, I'm on Clubhouse. If I ain't on Clubhouse, I'm somewhere else doing my thing. I'm actually thinking about doing street evangelism again and getting off of here sometimes, because sometimes this is not fun for me sometimes. You know what I mean? But I want Shanny to understand. I want her to know the what's really going on in here with me. You use me. You lied to me, Shanny. You lied to me. And you ain't just lied to me with some regular lie. You told me that you needed time to get back on your feet. And you took my money. You took the shelter that I gave you. You took everything that was given to you and you took it for granted. And you just laid there and you just started wasting away and you wasn't even trying no more. Not understanding that there was an hourglass there and your time was running out. How many times you think I was going to come back to that house and hear, well, we ain't got no gas in the car. We couldn't get downtown. You don't understand. People waiting on Section 8. If I wasn't a Christian and I wasn't practicing self-control, I would take this food and throw it at this computer, at this laptop screen, about how angry I am when I think about that lie. Where I'm at in New Jersey right now, all you got to do is go to Wealth, especially if you're a mother who's got minors and you're sleeping on the street. Just go there and tell them your situation. Oh, you'll get a shelter real fast, and they'll make sure you get TRA and temporary Section 8. And I hate to say this, but Rev's uncle's dumb. I know he wants to help his nephew. That's their family. Blood is thicker than water, but he is not obligated to do anything with Shanny because Shanny doesn't care about Shanny. And Jason don't care about Jason. But if you're going to help somebody, help the person that gave you a house. Because his uncle is going through what I went through. He wants to show his gratitude for what Jason did for him. And they're taking advantage of it. But just like me, that's going to run out and they're going to find themselves out in the street. It's only a matter of time. Unless he gives them back the house. I doubt that's going to happen. When you get emotionally attached with people on here that you think are your friends and they lie to you, it becomes a problem. It becomes a big, big problem. The only thing that's positive about all of this, they should be very thankful that we're doing this from computer to computer, because I give anything to say this to their face. So Shannon, you keep getting on here and playing make-believe and bringing up fake narratives and fake things on why somebody likes you and everything. I don't think you truly understand what's going on here. Now, this is how I feel. You tried to con another person on here for 10 grand. How do you think they feel? And Teddy Bear, I got a question for you. How do you feel about that, Teddy Bear? How do you, Jules, feel about Shanny getting ready to play somebody for 10 grand? I've seen your videos about them driving from Colorado to Pennsylvania, and you pretending to care about Shanny and Rev being terrible people when you were making all that money when Dragnet was on here. But now you're supporting the same person that you thought was evil. And Teddy Bear, not only are you a criminal, you're supporting another woman who's a criminal who tried to con somebody out of 10 grand. You're going to find yourself incarcerated soon too, brah. You're going to find yourself incarcerated too. Because I wonder if your parole officer knows that you're doing stuff like this. Go find somebody else to go play with, because I ain't the one. I am not the one. All right. So I'm going to enjoy me food. I'm going to enjoy me juice. I'm going to enjoy what I got here to eat. Shanny, this is the real thing that's going on here. You keep thinking that all you got to do is make a video and talk about peace and love and Maranatha and all the other stuff and whatnot, and everything's going to magically go away till you're blue in the face. Listen to me. I don't know about your family over there in Duluth, but G-Man, you are going, when it comes to me, you are going to address these issues, or you can get the stepping. You've never really been around a real man. Maybe your father at best. But you've never really been around a real hardened man before. I know to a certain degree, Chris didn't allow you to do certain things. Rev lets you do whatever you want because he's afraid of you. Think about that, Shanny. You're with a guy who claims to be a man, and the only reason he lets you do everything that you do is because he's afraid of you. He's physically afraid of you. And then you wonder why no other man on social media wants anything to do with you. Besides the fact that you don't bathe and you donkey and pee in a bucket. Besides the fact that you refuse to work and you want to pretend to be sick. And basically what you're doing is, check out my sexy self. Come deal with the power of the handicap. You basically saying, look, can't walk, can't talk, can't poop, can't pee without the assistance of somebody. And by the way, do you want to get with me? You must be crazy. You must be crazy. You bumped your head, woman.
Well, it looks like G-Man's going to finish his lunch.
Bumped your head.
I think he's pretty much had his rage.
If you don't want to believe that the Jews are living in Israel, fine, that's your personal business. You want to support communism? Fine, that's your personal business. The second you start trying to manipulate me with the scriptures telling me that I'm supposed to live my life and let you live off other people's money on YouTube and start getting on here with the false prophecies and all of that, that's when you're going to get your butt schooled.
Christian on Christian.
And I'm going to rebuke you. I'm going to rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. And I'm going to do it properly.
All right. Enough. What has Queen? Oh, there she goes. She's still around.
You know, we're friends, you know, give a girl a tip once in a while. Why do you care if someone gives me money? How does that affect your fucking life at all? You need to ask these questions because they're very fucking important.
Yep. Very important.
And they have this awesome sweet chili sauce they make to dip in. The sauce of the pizza could be sweet chili sauce. I lie to people? Huh. If I lie to people, why is that your concern, Janice? Are you trying to, save humanity from my assumed lies? Like, Jesus Christ. A scammer? What did I scam? What am I selling exactly? Look up the word scam and the definition. What am I selling? Nothing. And if I was selling something, what is the scam to this? What is being sold? Define why I am a scammer instead of saying I'm a scammer, because it makes you look fucking stupid as fuck.
Got it.
It's my face, I'm like Sloth from fucking Goonies. Hey, you guys! Uh-huh, Casper. Good to know.
There's two extensions and one doing,
Ruth! 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 I know, isn't that the cutest tracks? Barbie, go be cynical to someone else or yourself. Focus on yourself, weirdo. Love that movie. Same.
What do you want?
Janice, go suck a dick. And mind your own fucking business, stupid. By grift and yokel, I'm like, you're annoying. You just keep fucking spamming my chat with the same fucking question.
Yeah, me too. But we still watch, don't we?
I didn't ask for an answer. I don't care to get answers from weirdo people who are parasocial and won't get off my fucking asshole.
Ooh.
Did you sniff my ass a little bit more? Did you sniff my ass? Did you sniff my ass?
Didn't you take
How
that?
did it smell?
Didn't you go to the?
How'd my asshole smell? How my brown eye smell, huh?
Didn't you?
You've been up there so fucking long, you must get used to the fucking smell.
She sounds like
motherfucker.
J-Dubs. Oh, that will be a glorious day.
Yes, he was,
in the
and
history
it
of
was.
mankind. Oh man, I can't believe humanity actually exists in this form, but it seems to. Oh yeah, I like that one. Melanie, we're with you.
Jason's a motherfucking liar, trying to get on my nerves and hurt me because he's under psychosis.
You hungry?
I know people who think Rev could just sit there and not say anything.
My puppy's hungry.
Hey, jackass, you stupid son of a bitch. You piece of shit. Cheater, fucker, asshole. You think Rev would be quiet if I was saying that to him? Do you honestly? Now she's taunting him. I know. Ooh. No. Because I expect understanding when someone's going through a mental health problem. Sorry, that's my standards. This ain't a fucking blunt, idiot. Fucking cigarello. Fucking broke as hell. You think I can afford that shit? Or even get it? I don't know anyone. I don't even go outside barely. What the fuck are you talking about? I agree, Brixley. I know. There is cycled scripts are so fucking boring. It's just the same stupid shit over and over and over again. It's pathetic. You guys are dumb. Exactly, Melissa. Rev talks out of his arse. Exactly. Shanny, you need another mod or two. I don't give a fuck. Let them fucking talk their stupid shit. They're just idiots. Yeah, we were together for 8. I wish I had some special treats, though. Someone wants to come over with some special treats. I'd be down. Zero sugar Mountain Dew Baja Blast right now. I got some Pepsi still. Well, I am helping myself. I've been on and off the phone all day. I know how to conduct business. Mow the long lawn. Why are people so obsessed with talking to me on the fucking interviews? Sounds like a mob boss conducting business. That's right. I am the mob boss. Ah, okay, 1 minute. God. What was I doing? What did I do? I forgot what you were. Oh, my email address. Shit. Sorry. My bad. My brain's not working well. All right. What was it again? Oh, my fucking email address. Yeah. I had to turn on my fucking internet so I can type it in. There we go. Oh my God, Shannon. Use your brain muscles. You can do this. There we go. I'm going to pin it so you guys see it better. There you go. Right on the top. There's the email. Call me. I'd kick Tina's ass. I'd kick her ass so hard, it'll go right straight up her pussy. That's what. Bing, bang, boom, young fungus things, sling, ring, dings. What did you miss again? Me? You can't stop coming back, Cher. Wait. I gotta do the lawn hair thing that Cher always does back in the day. If I could turn back time, if I could find no.
What the hell did I come back into? Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry that you get to miss this. Sorry.
Made me cry a little bit.
Couldn't help it. It was
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Togi medicine.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Don't cry. I'm trying not to, man. I know she's getting married to like this 37-year-old dude. It's fucking crazy, man. It's like, dude, he's totally going after her fucking fame and money.
Yeah.
You know. I never do. Can
I be copyrighted for that? Oh, I know what she's trying to sing.
Sorry. I have a
She rocks,
celeb.
doesn't she?
Barbie, isn't he a Libra? But I said he was a Taurus. Ah.
You know what I haven't done? Or have I?
Yes, I fed the cats.
Or have I? Yes, I have.
Why do people ask me that? Like, I'm not fucking responsible.
Well, you've shown yourself not to be irresponsible. Right? Right?
Aw, that's so sweet, honey.
She's just so believable, huh? And she heaps the praise on people. Oh, honey.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
If I could reach the
Hey.
stars.
Jesus Christ, what is she on repeat? Doo-doo. Yes, it must be about. I hope they got a bucket big enough for
let
her.
me do something real quick. I need to plug in the phone. I saw that. I'll get back to you on that. I don't have a chime though.
She
I
makes.
just have a fucking cash app.
She's got to tell you about everything. Well, I'm going to follow her lead. I need to put down the coffee cup. Plunk.
But it is requested. And I truly do love my fans.
Yeah, me too. Love you guys. That's you.
Truly.
I'm making a thumbnail. Guess what?
There we go.
Is she
You
like
did trash
Freudian
your place,
slipping to
man.
go make? She has to go make a doo doo.
Beer bottles in cans everywhere. The binge was real, and that's why you were seeing such psychopathy. All right, thank you, Del. But, aw, Melissa, you sweetheart. Doobie doobie doo.
Oh, is that what it was? It was doobie doobie doo. She's into who sang that one? Frank Sinatra? Or was it?
I'll type it in. Just look.
Was it Frank Sinatra or was it Frank Zappa? It was Frank someone.
There we go. Do I still have your number? My number's changed. Actually. So, I'm going to have to give you that. So email me. what the fuck he was doing in the fucking floor. Are you ever going to actually leave? Never! All right, Shanny's #1 fan. Zup, Mecca? How are you? Just one fucking clip and they act like I said something about... Oh, God. Okay. About the cancer thing. I just came back from the hospital and I was on morphine, okay? And I didn't speak clearly, obviously. And this has been passed around for literally, what, 3-4 years? It's so fucking dumb.
What are we watching?
Yes, morphine. They give it to osteoarthritis and fibromyalgia pain patients when they can't take it anymore because they know how bad the pain is. They can actually tell through your blood pressure that you're in pain because it spikes.
That's right. She's a doctor. Doctor. What's her name? What was her maiden name? Dr. McGraw. I think that's a maiden name.
Shut up, Bridge. I'm telling the fucking truth. Oh, you got dial-out. Yeah. I saw the source that scared you to get that test, remember? Yes. I was showing you them. It's bad. It's still there, the lump, but it's a cyst that needs to be removed. But with my new caretaker, I can go to doctor's appointments now without the...
I thought that was the cancer.
He couldn't do it. The job, he can't do it. He's too mentally ill.
How would you like
Melissa?
Something more exciting?
Trying to get by, bros. I'm trying.
No. There was a time when your best buddy, Von Helton, was accused of being a white supremacist. I don't know if you do remember, but if you do, he was. And he responded. He made a response video. And here it is.
I'm a white supremacist, y'all. Okay? Even though I'm a red man, I'm somehow now a white supremacist, y'all. So we're going to see just how white supremacist I am.
Cool.
All right. First of all, we got that one book that I had. So let's bring him up. Oh wow! Oh my goodness! Oh, wait a minute. He don't look white, Carnivorous Ape. He don't look white. Let's try the other guy. Maybe we'll have better luck with the other guy, huh? Maybe we'll have better luck with. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, he's not white either. Oh shit. Well, surely, the author of the PDF in question that started this whole thing. Well, surely he's got to be a white supremacist, right? Oh wait. Oh no, he's a black man as well. In fact, he's a very prominent black man. He was in charge of several journalistic societies that favored the Negro. And he, in fact, one of them was called the Negro Journal, and he was the head of it. And this man here that made the PDF in question has accolades out the rear end. He is highly respected. He has been a pillar of the community. Period. End of story. You cannot say one bad thing about any of these three men. Their historical information is accurate to a T. And the fact that you would call me, let me bring that shit back up, because that's just some awesome shit right there. Yeah, the fact that you would call me a white supremacist when the men around me here clearly are not. Just like I said, Carnivorous Ape, I am saddened to see that you are touting the Skull and Bones disinformation, misinformation. Because it's not cool, man. Kill Whitey back in the 60s was a thing.
I guess that's it. We'll go back to Shanny. All the switching around, man, makes me tired. Oh, no, that's not Shanny. That's not Shanny. Oh, there she is. Oops.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that type of company. Yeah, what did Jason say? Oh, Jesus, no.
Where's
He's
Jason's
definitely
channel?
not
Is
the
what I wanna know.
smallest. But he's the best. He knew how to use it. He knows how to use it.
He knows how to use it.
I'm sorry, ma'am. That sucks. We saw what? Saw what? People are annoying. Yeah. I don't do that whole, like, seriously, the new year, it's like, it's the older you get, the more it's like, it's just time progressing like always. Oh, God. Be careful with that, Mom. Jesus bless you, man. I ended up showing my chart and it wasted time. Yeah, you just like they're just gonna completely invalidate you just to invalidate you because they can't think functionally. They have to repeat the same thing over and over, hoping that it'll stick. Good job, Ryan. I gave myself my own orgasms last night, so I win too. So yay. Heck yeah. You blew your own back out. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a gross visual. Enjoy it. It is what it is. If I had stripe. All right. Thank you, Buffalo. I was a candy striper one summer, but they didn't let me wear the pinstripes because men just had born red vests. They did free lunch on the roof alone. It was nice though. Yeah, I love dude. I love it. I miss that time, you know, when I was young, dumb, full of life and energy, and I didn't hurt. I wasn't injured. If I could go back to that. I envy people who don't feel pain. Do you know that? I envy people. I envy that they can move right and they can walk fast. I just look at it and I'm just like, I want that. I don't have a massive fupa. Jesus. You too, Krissa. I envy pain-free too. Oh, wow. I'm not the only one. You look at normal people and you're like, I want that. Dude, if I lost 350 pounds, I would be extremely overweight.
Excuse me?
Or underweight. I said overweight. Underweight. Because I'm pretty close to that number right now. Yeah, what is it like to have no pain? I always ask Jason, what's it like to have no pain? It's like, it's pretty damn good. Who would I want to play me in my own biopic? Jesse McCarthy. Nope. Clover. Nope. 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 I'd be like the weight of a toddler. If I lost 350 pounds, so do the math. I weigh less than Foodie Beauty. I weigh less than Foodie Beauty. Ha 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 ha, Foodie Beauty. I'm winning the contest. Who would play Rev? Brandon Fraser now? Oh my God. I'd definitely leave Rev for Brendan Fraser. I love him. I loved him since I was a little girl. Him and his Sino Man and his big giant muscles. I'd love to know how it feels to put my titties on his chest.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't want to listen to this for too much longer.
No.
So let me see. See if there's an emergency backup anywhere.
Stop it, fussy puppy. I mean, that's a good joke. I'll give you that. But stop it. I'm not a whale. That's dehumanizing. And obviously you didn't get the point of the movie, did you?
Carrie's live. Oh, she's doing what I'm doing. She's doing exactly what I'm doing. I'll share her.
And my blood sugar's better than hers too, because it's actually regulated.
Let me turn her off. There you go. And she's got 400 people watching her. Maybe it's because she doesn't interrupt so much and do with like I do.
Ew.
Well, whatever it is, I shouldn't be sniping her channel. I should be going to this channel. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. There you go.
How did I get him to leave? I had to torture him to the point where he lost his fucking mind so he could finally go to rehab like I've been asking him to do for 8 months. What do you mean I refuse to clean the house? I am doing it little by little. Give a fucking disabled chick fucking credit, man.
Von Helton and this woman. Disabled.
Go away. I didn't have really anything for dinner. I just had this like protein pack. So I could, you know, take my metformin. Oh. Hey, Melissa. You got to do what you got to do. Exactly, man. Someone's trying to hack into my fucking DoorDash for some fucking reason. Joke's on you. I don't even use that account for DoorDash. No shit, anime. I need them for my body.
My body.
I don't get Meals of America delivered daily. I get them delivered bi-weekly. Stop fucking bullshitting, Clover. You don't know my life. Stop pretending you do. God, what idiots. I know they think they know everything, but they know shit. Tubian, I bless you in the name of Jesus Christ and break any curse, bond, chain that you try to put upon me in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Beat that shit because you won't be able to, because your witchcraft is not as powerful as God's power and strength. I didn't say I had dementia. I'm saying there's something wrong with my brain. And I need to get it checked out. Yes, I got your email. I don't pick and choose any part in the Bible. I use it all. Unfortunately for you, you don't know how to use it as a sword. I do. I don't believe in Jesus. Well, that's your problem, not mine. You should. Because God knows people like you need it. I know about memory fog. I don't think it's just memory fog. God, I'm gonna be like Bruce Willis. He's not able to talk. Thoughts on furries? I'm not into it.
This is boring. Boring. 3 hours. Whoa, 3.5 hours. I've been going for this episode. I'm going to take a break. And I'm going to try and be back with something more exciting next time. So thank you so much for watching. I have to figure out a sort of a going away or a leaving banner or something. How about a thank you for watching? Let's try that. Thank you. Oop. Better do it nicely. Thank you for watching. We'll do that, that, and that. And then I'll know when it comes through on YouTube. That's why I do it. There you go. I love you all. We'll see you next time. Stay healthy. Take care. I see it. So I can end it here.